Yep, you heard. This is the word. This is the weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News, right?
Yep.
Yep, and it's being sponsored by none other than, that glue guard, right?
Yep.
Who that's for? Them drippy lip mofocos, huh?
Man.
So no drip lip.
Man.
Yep, and it's being presented to you by none other than your favorite smoking partner, Serpo.
Make sure you stay elevated with Big J.
Elevated.
Elevate.
Yep, California Supreme Court depublishes ruling that prioritized federal cannabis. What did this mean for us Californians? California State Supreme Court last week depublished a prior ruling that said cannabis was illegal in the state due to federal law. The Santa Barbara Independent reports the decision is related to a twice appealed lawsuit filed by a Lompoc property owner who sued the county of Santa Barbara after a board of supervisors allowed cannabis to be transported on a estate road that runs through their property. While both the property owner and the county remain bound by their prior ruling, the depublishing of the ruling means that it can no longer be used as a legal precedent for other cases moving forward. So, like for other cases moving forward, they can't use I'm assuming the transportation through certain aspects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To get somebody for illegal cannabis. The property owner first sued the county in 2021 after officials granted a conditional use permit to a cannabis company to grow and transport cannabis. However, the company the company relied on I don't know what that shit is, easement road that runs through a property owned by JC Cortnell, an LLC. JC Cradnell, claimed that under the terms of the 1998 easement, the road could not be used for federally illegal activities, and therefore the permit is issued to the cannabis company unlawfully. You know, they always trying to find something to mess with. Man, a Superior Court judge ruled J.C. Cradnell's claim in 2023, but that decision was overturned on appeal by a district court judge. And that cannabis company conditional use permit was rescinded in October 2024 on the grounds that the estimate did not include the illegal transport of cannabis. That's right. They came back and got your little raggedy ass.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Decision was set to be published and used as a legal precedent throughout the state until the California Supreme Court agreed to depublish the ruling while maintaining the court's orders. So, for the Californians, you know what I'm saying, just remember this news segment and just go back and know this case. And if something ever try to get tricky, you can have something to refer to.
Ain't no question. Moving on, man, the tariffs, man, Trump and them and all them with the tariffs. You know what I'm saying? Tariffs Tangle, New York's budding cannabis biz feeling the pinch. The buzz around New York's legal cannabis industry is getting a serious downer, and folks are pointing fingers at the recent surge in tariffs. What was supposed to be a green rush is turning into a financial headache, leaving many small businesses feeling straight up played. These tariffs are hitting us where it hurts, said Maria M.J. Rodriguez, owner of a Brooklyn-based dispensary. We're trying to build something legit, but these extra costs, it's making it mad difficult to stay afloat. The problem stems from increasing tariffs on importing goods crucial to the cannabis supply chain, things like specialized lighting, cultivation equipment, and even packaging materials, much of which come from overseas, as we all know, have seen significant price hikes. This is forcing businesses to either eat the extra cost or pass them to the consumer. We talked about this some months ago, neither of which are a good look. It's a whole vibe killer, explained Jamal Smoke Williams, a grower in upstate New York. We're trying to keep prices reasonable, but these tariffs are making it impossible. We're getting taxed before we can get taxed by the state. Here's the breakdown. Increased cost. Growers are facing higher prices for essential equipment. Dispensaries are seeing a spike in packaging and displaying costs. Impact on small business. Smaller equity-focused businesses are particularly vulnerable. These businesses often have less capital to absorb the extra costs. Consumer impact. Potential for higher prices at the registry, pushing some consumers back to the underground market. This is why I say and we say the underground market will not go nowhere until they can figure this out on a legit level. Man, let's just get it together, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of talking about this.
Washington State issues recall over 500 cannabis product batches. Washington State regulators earlier this month issued a sweeping recall for more than 500 cannabis product batches over pesticide and residual solvent concerns. The recall for the Northwest Cannabis Solutions vape products was issued early March and may be the largest recall action in the state's history. You know what I'm saying? According to the state's data, Northwest is the state's fourth largest earning cannabis processor, with sales totaling over $250 million.
Yeah.
The company's year-to-date sales that totaled $64 million, making it the state's third largest earner. The state recall data shows the affected products, cartridges, and disposable vapes were sold. Disposable vape products using the company's Wedding Crasher, White Widow, and Super Boof strains.
White Widow.
But yeah, they were all sold at 129 retailers throughout the state. Those are all recalled. Under state's law, Northwest has 60 days to develop a recall plan, including naming a recall coordinator, identifying and isolating products to prevent and minimize distribution to consumers, developing procedures and retrieve and destroy affected products, and creating a communication plan to notify those affected by the recall. So pretty much, you know what I'm saying? You Washingtonians, DCians. No, it ain't even over there. That's a whole nother Washington. But you Washingtonians. You know what I'm saying? Y'all Washington vapes, bruh. Stop vaping, bruh.
Stop vaping. Vaping. Uh-oh. Charleston's Green Dream goes grim. But prices tanking. Shops are shook right now, though. All right, listen up, Boston fam, because the green scene in Charleston is getting real messy. We talking about pot prices dropping like a bad beat at a poker table. And them cannabis businesses, they straight up sweating right now, though. Here's the lowdown on the green grind. Market madness. Seems like everybody and their cousin jumped into the legal weed game in Massachusetts. Now there's a serious oversupply and them prices are plummeting. Too much. Is it ever too much, though? It's a straight up battle for customers, and them smaller shops are getting squeezed. You know what I'm saying? They're getting squeezed. Black market blues. Even the legal spots popping up, the underground hustle is still alive and kicking. They're undercutting the legal joints with lower prices because they ain't playing them hefty taxes and regulations. Profit pain. Them cannabis businesses in Charleston, they're feeling the pinch. Profits are shrinking, and some folks are worried they might have to close up shop. The overhead costs are high, and with prices dropping, it's very difficult. It's a very difficult situation. Look, specifically, there are reports that the retail price of cannabis flower has dropped nearly 70%. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. Since November of 2018. Reports indicate that in early 2021, an eighth of an ounce of pot would only average sell for $50. Now the same amount is closer to $15. That's a damn. That's
That motherfuckers be like, that's a deal.
man. But that's cold for a business owner though. What's next for the green scene? Business bust. Expect some cannabis businesses to fold. It's a tough market, and not everyone's going to survive. Only the strongest and most well-funded, keywords, well-funded, will remain. Price wars. Get ready for some serious price wars as businesses try to stay competitive. State intervention. Some folks are hoping that the state will step in and ease up on the regulations or taxes to help these businesses out. But that's a big maybe though, right there though. You know what I'm saying? So the people in Charleston, Massachusetts, man, peace be with you. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Well, Alabama court voids more medical cannabis license restraining orders. Come on, Alabama. The Alabama Court of Civil Appeals last week voided 4 more temporary restraining orders pertaining to the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission. The order instructs Montgomery County Circuit Judge James Anderson to vacate the restraining orders against the agency related to 3 integrated facilities licensed applicants and 1 dispensary applicant. So I'm guessing the restraining orders are being lifted. In a statement, AMCC Director John McMillan said officials are pleased that the court has once again affirmed that investigative hearings are not lawsuits. Hold on, I seen something wrong. Rewind. Bam. Director John McMillan said officials are pleased that the court has once again affirmed that investigative hearings and not lawsuits are the next right step to implementing Alabama's medical cannabis program. Bump, bump, bum that.
Man.
And appreciative work for our legal team, and trust that today's decision will go a long way toward ending the premature litigation against the commission, McMillan said in a statement. The Court of Civil Appeals action follows a similar decision by the court about 2 weeks prior, which found that since the AMCC's administrative process is not final, the circuit court lacks subject matter jurisdiction over the claims that led to the temporary restraining orders. So, Alabamians, y'all getting y'all smoke on, right? Get y'all smoke on and come on in next week for another weekly edition of The Best Way to Smoke News with your favorite smoking partner, Surfo Jr.
Hey, look, make sure you stay elevated with Big J.
All the time in Alabama, y'all can do that.